There's so many people like that in this business that take advantage of people. And good people have good hearts, and they deserve to be treated fairly. You shouldn't be punished because you trust people, but don't trust the wrong person. Like I always say, it's good to be trusting, but you need proof. And so just invite me out to your home and I will give you some things that you can use as proof. Or you can email us and we'll send you some hard-hitting questions to ask contractors. We'd love to do that for you too. We just don't want you to make a mistake. There's some good contractors out there, even besides KM Builders, but you need to know what you're getting into, and you need to know that you're going to be protected. And it takes some knowledge, it takes some information to do that. That's why we're on the show, to give out that information that can help out you as a homeowner. Let's go ahead and take our first caller, David. I think you can get me right to David. David, if you're there, how can I help you?
A 2-year-old house, and I've got the shower. The floor is in the shower floor. There's a few spots that it has come out of, and I've got a roll-in shower chair, and it sticks a couple of spots. And what can I do to do that? Do I need to have it regrouted, or do I? It's a waterproof grout, but grind it down a little bit, or I just don't know which direction to go in.
So you said you're having spots show up, and what else is the problem?
It's just certain spots that the rolling chair sticks on, and it doesn't roll in smooth.
Oh, okay, I got you. So the tile was set improperly, and you want to see out. But that's the thing to do, is to have someone that's a tile setter really carefully pull that tile up. Now that is a very delicate operation on the floor when you have a shower pan, because if you penetrate that shower pan in the removal process, you're going to create a leak that cannot be solved without tearing out that whole shower pan and that whole floor.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you could go over that grout with a new grout and just smooth it out that way.
You can, but normally it's not going to bond as well, and so it's just a grout. It's not the actual tile itself. How could just a grout joint mess with a chair?
Well, when I roll in, it'll hit in the grout chair and grout, and I have to, push in, put my feet against the wall and push in.
Okay, that means that.
Certain spots.
Yeah, and how far apart are your tile?
It's the pebble type on the floor, but it's put in with a level. I was there when they put it in.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Like just spots of the grout are out, and it hits that, and it doesn't. It just stops it.
Yeah, boy, that would have to be a big grout joint to stop a rolling wheelchair of some kind. Are they small wheels on your chair, or the full?
Well, it's just a shower chair.
I got you. So it can bind it a little easier if it's small wheels. So yeah, I think you would just kind of scrape out the grout a little bit, and you probably don't need to use anything electric or motorized. You would just use a little grout scraper. They sell those at Home Depot, and you can carve out the grout a little bit, put a little bit more in there, and it will fill it up to the level that you want, and you can custom do that. But just don't go too deep. You don't want to go all the way through the grout, because once you get through the grout, you might get too close to that thin set. But you do need a substantial amount of grout for it to really bond, and you want it to get at least an 1/8 inch thick so that you've got something sticking and holding.
Okay. That's what I was saying. I was just trying to find somebody that's evidently the people that put it in. I thought they were very, well known and so forth. And I need somebody that maybe, if not so well known, that will actually take it more care of what they do.
Yeah, well, if you need some help, we can definitely recommend a guy that can do great grout work for you. And just call us at the office at 680-5626. That's 680-5626. Or just go to kmbuilders.com and put in a request, and we'll follow it up for you. And thank you for calling the show. And all right, and so just like that, you can call us at 737-1200, and we'll answer your questions. We're going to be talking about dual suites in homes, and those are the suites that everybody would love to have for mama if they come home. If the children come home, back home from college, or if they're staying there, somebody's renting from you, or if you, have a reason like maybe a handicap that would keep you from going upstairs and you need another one downstairs, those are some things we're gonna be talking about. But I did wanna mention my friends over at Billy's Western Wear before we go to our break. And I just can't say enough about Billy's and Greg White, my friend Greg White. So if Greg's listening, I want you to know I have your hinges for your door, and I got them in my truck. So get with me next week and I'll get them to you. But go out there to BillysWesternWear.com. They have great after rodeo sales and just the best selection in Western wear. It's nice to wear Western wear, I think, in the cold, and it's still cold out there. So get you some at BillysWesternWear.com. And talk to my friend Greg and tell him that I sent you. And we're gonna be right back to the KM Builders Remodeling and Design Show.
Amashokan, Texas is celebrating.
What?
Can I have your phone?
I'm sorry. I was supposed to do that?
Yeah, but it's not working anyways.
What do you want, Facebook or Instagram?
I think I'm gonna have to do Facebook on it.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on. It's not, I'm gonna try one last thing before I start it there.
Let me go get my
Notes.
notes.
Yeah, I already did that. Dual Master Suites.
Welcome back to the KM Builders Remodeling and Design Show. I'm Keith Maley, and along with Morgan.
Hello,
Let's see.
Hello, everybody.
There you go. Morgan was trying to set up things and
We got Facebook and YouTube today.
but not Instagram.
No.
Oh, sorry to all you on Instagram. And we have a lot of followers on Instagram. So if you'd like to join us, you'll have to do it on Facebook and YouTube.
Yes.
And we are talking about master suites, dual master suites. In fact, it is a increasingly popular project. And you had a client testimonial? No,
Nope.
Oh. we just didn't get that. We had one. We had several this week, in fact. But we're gonna just forego that. I'll think of one later that we had.
I forgot to ask you. I was gonna ask you to look on your phone.
All I have to do is look on the phone and some text messages, and we'll do that. But we'll do that in the next section.
Okay.
Instead,
I have our what's trending.
Let's do that instead.
Yeah, this one's really cool. Let me grab it. But it is a really interesting trend that I don't know if you're actually gonna like, Dad.
Oh, okay, it's okay. I think.
You think? Yeah. Nope, not that one. Freestanding islands. So this is a really, it's not like an actual cabinet. It is more of a bar cart looking, and it's a different type of cabinet. They stand alone, and they look like they could be movable, but they're not.
It's like
They're
a piece of furniture almost.
Yeah, but you can connect plumbing to it. I've seen some that have,
Sinks.
you know, a sink in it or appliances, but they just look like you bought a piece of furniture for it. So I just thought those were really cool.
They are. I like the
And
picture
that's
you're
a
showing
new
there.
2019 trend right now.
Yeah, and then they come in different colors, so that you don't have to. Obviously, it doesn't match your other cabinetry when you buy that put together kind of look.
Yeah,
They
look really cool.
So that's also related to a trend that's where you have this collection of pieces, and sometimes the cabinets are different from one another, and islands are definitely a place where you can vary that. Sometimes a cabinet against the wall that stands out by itself can also be a different furniture looking piece with a different finish and a different design even.
I mean, the ones that I'm seeing, they're using completely different everything. Different hardware, different type of wood, totally different countertops. So it's really accent.
And sometimes they're even a different height. They'll do it, and it really stands out. And what it does is it keeps your kitchen interesting.
Yeah.
And it's also not a big risk because you have maybe one island that if you did get bored with it, you could change it out
That's
and buy
true.
another one and sell that one because it's,
Yeah.
it's a separate piece. And some of them look like dressers, and some of them look like you said, carts. Some of them look just quite a bit different. So let's go ahead and take our first phone call for this section. Let's see if JR's there. JR, how can I help you?
Yeah, I have a question. I live on an old two-story house, and I wanted to do the upstairs bathroom had stick-on tiles, and I wanted to take them off and put ceramic tiles. How high could I lift the commode off without having any issues?
You're asking me how high can you lift the commode without having an issue?
Yeah, the thing is, like say, I want to take off the stick-on tiles and put ceramic tile, so it's gonna go up either maybe I'm guessing maybe at least a half an inch or 3/4. I'm not sure exactly how high I can go since it's a wooden floor. Would I have any problems lifting up the commode and putting ceramic tile underneath?
Yes, that's a very good question. I understand it now. It's two things you have to be aware of. One is that normally you can get a higher wax ring for the toilet. You have to get a taller wax ring before you put that back on, and your bolts may be too short, and you may need new bolts in that flange. The brass flange has those bolts underneath them, so go ahead and buy a new set of bolts anyway when you change out a toilet, and then get a brand new wax ring, and you get the taller one, and you can feel it if it's touching it well enough. But you should look at how the other one comes off and see if it's really mashed down, and try to figure out what kind was in there. If it's a normal wax ring and you're going to put the taller one on there, you're going to be fine, and it'll mash it. You should be able to feel that. You have to put a little force in the toilet to get it to sit down if the wax ring is working.
And would I need any kind of extension for the, I guess for that drain or whatever?
No, everything is just gravity and it's a hole. I mean, your toilet doesn't have a connection per se to the hole in the floor. It's just a hole and it drops in that hole, and what you have is a wax ring that keeps that water from getting out and any smells. That's why that works so well. But it's not gonna go sideways on you if, and be leaking if the wax ring is taller and it can still bond with that. You clean out that toilet really good when you pull it off. Make sure it's really clean under there, and then you put your new wax ring on the floor and set that baby right on there real, you gotta do it, you gotta be real slow and gentle with it. You gotta hold it up, so if you drop that toilet on there or put it on there crooked, it's not gonna be a good seal. You might wanna get a hand on helping hold that toilet up really, really gradually and slowly set it on that wax ring. That's a trick.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Hey, thanks for the call, and I wish you well on your little project there. It looks like it'd be a nice upgrade. Thanks for calling the show. And you can call the show too at 737-1200 if you have any questions. I'd be happy to answer. You can kind of tell I've done this work before. And so we do tend to focus on the high-end the high-end work. What we mean by that is the full-size projects. Not just high-end projects, but the complete project, because we are general contractors, but we're also a design build firm. We want to help people get the details right, and it usually takes a talented staff to be able to make a project come through with no hiccups or no problems. So we tend to talk about more than just the handyman things or the do-it-yourself, or we're talking about the projects that are more exciting, and some of them are small, but they can still be very exciting. But one thing that keeps them from being exciting if you do it wrong or have someone who doesn't care and doing it wrong. And so we really do train our staff, and we even educate our clients on what the right processes are, best practices in the industry. And it's one of the reasons that I felt comfortable doing this show almost 16 years ago. It's over 15 and a half years ago we started this. So that means I was 15 when it started, right, Morgan? No, you were born already, so it had to be at least 20, right? I'm just
What in
kidding.
the world?
That really blew Morgan. She's like,
What is going on?
because she knows how old I really am. Anyway, so we want to talk about these master suites a little bit, and we're going to do that after the news break. But before we do that, let's go ahead and take another caller. We've got Aubrey, I believe it is. Aubrey, if you're there, how can I help you? Hi, Aubrey.
Yes, sir. My question is, I have a little house. It's 1,000 square feet, and I want to replace the hot water heater. And it's electric. And should I go and replace with the on-demand hot water heater, or should I go and replace with just a good standard hot water heater?
Yeah, my first answer would be probably not to go on demand. And the reason is because it's very expensive. You're gonna have to upgrade your electric way more than you probably thought. It's gonna cost you thousands of dollars to do an on-demand water heater. Those are called tankless. The on-demand, there's other models of on-demand that you can put like at the shower or the faucet in your bathroom. But the problem with those, Aubrey, is that they tend to slow down water flow. You're not going to get the pressure you want, and the reason is it takes so much electricity to heat up water quick enough when it's running through a pipe. So you don't like them. You will not like them if you put them at the point. The only ones that work really well are the ones that are the tankless, the big babies that you put in, and they just have a whole lot of electricity. Most people literally have to upgrade the amperage service in their home to get those accomplished. So that means CPS is going to come in there and bring in a 200 amp meter. You're going to pay probably in the neighborhood of $1,500 just to get the power changed, and then you're going to have to do the tankless water heater, and you're going to spend a few $1,000s on that. Normally it's over $2,000 just to install the tankless water heater and the product. So you said I've talked you out of it, is that right?
Yes, sir. We don't need to go any farther than that. It's just me in that house, so I don't need to satisfy anybody else. So.
Well, they've done a good job, Aubrey, of marketing those products, and they are for certain people, but they're not for most. And even if you had gas, they're still expensive. Not as expensive as electricity, but they're still expensive to install. And they don't have an endless life. They probably don't even last as long as a water heater does. So my advice to you is two things. One is get you a good quality water heater. And if you want to go to the next step, Aubrey, what I've done for many clients is put in a recirculating pump. Now, some of the water heaters actually come with a recirculating pump on them. You can get them, and then what you do is you run another line, have a plumber run another line to the area of the home that doesn't get hot water quickly. And you will find that it will learn the pattern of, and if you just get your water heater and you want to talk to me later about adding that supply system, it typically runs about $1,500 to $1,600 to put that on there, and it will get you hot water quickly at the farthest parts of the home. And it doesn't waste a drop of water, and it really, really is a wonderful benefit. But the water heaters today are a lot better than they used to be. They're much more insulated and much more efficient. And if you have yours, by the way, Aubrey, is yours in the garage or in the house?
It's in the wall right next to the garage inside.
Okay, I've got something to think about. I'm gonna just make this real quick. If you'd like your garage air conditioned, there are water heaters that use the heat. They have a heat pump on them, and they'll actually air condition your garage during the summer months. Your garage will be cooler. You just open that door to that water heater and let that thing air condition your garage. You'll get that for free. Isn't that incredible?
A hot water heater is air conditioned.
Yeah, it's a heat pump, so it uses the air and the heat, it extracts the heat from the air and makes it cooler in your garage. So, garages are hot and cars park in them and all that stuff. It's an awesome setup. So there's another good reason to go with it. But ask for that, and if you have any questions, check us out at kmbuilders.com and we'll answer those. And again, thanks for calling the show.
All right, so thank you very much.
All right, and we're gonna have to go to a news break, and y'all can call us when we get back to the KM Builders Remodeling and Design Show.
This is News Radio 12.
David Torres commented and he said, details really matter. Hope y'all had a good morning.
Hi, David. Is he viewing live?
I can't tell. Is an earthquake happening?
All kinds of weather events showing in there, or a hurricane. Just one from one event to another. It's crazy. Indoors in an earthquake. Yep, you're right. Run outside immediately.
Huh. Run outside is the thing to do, right?
I would think so, if you can. So did I miss a sponsor?
Yeah.
We were out of time.
Yeah.
We don't have to do them yet anyway.
Oh yeah. But we don't want to do the other one either anymore for now. So we figure it out.
Which one was that?
Altstead.
Do we have that here?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Supposed to freeze tonight or tomorrow?
I didn't hear.
Yeah.
Probably tomorrow, huh? Tonight?
Either tomorrow night. I believe it's for sure tomorrow night.
No, it's not gonna freeze tonight.
So many issues. I don't know what's going on with them.
Where?
The Mevo won't even stay connected to yours.
So who would it be?
What
The
do you,
Wi-Fi here?
I don't know. Yeah, that's what it looks like. I wonder if
So we're not getting live on the Mevo?
So I just did it to I did Facebook to your phone because I had already had Instagram going. I mean, not Instagram. I had already had YouTube going on my phone,
Mm-hmm.
so I just did Facebook on your phone. And those really are good because they're the ones that stay. You know what I mean?
What?
They stay forever.
What does?
Facebook and YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. I want to see if this is working for you. Yeah, the internet is working. So,
So look, see what the answer is.
yeah, under heavy furniture.
Well, I guess it's if you can't get out. I'm not gonna do that.
Well, stuff goes flying outside.
That might be good if you're upstairs in a multi-story building, you know. Mhm. No, I'm running outside.
There has to be a reason that they don't want you to run outside. There's probably flying objects outside if that's happening.
I mean, in the middle of the street, there ain't gonna be nothing flying at you. And they've told me many times to get outside. People have gotten
See,
outside.
look, that's why.
Doesn't matter. You're going to be better off. The building can collapse on you, and furniture is not going to protect you.
Yeah, that's what I was
You
thinking.
know that how many buildings have you seen collapsed in an earthquake? Those people are dead. So, yeah, if you have no choice and you can't get out, get under furniture. But look at that.
See?
Would that have helped? Would that help those people right there? You know what I mean?
But why do they say that?
It's just for if you're in the worst case scenario where you can't get out. We're not hearing all the statements, you know. We're not hearing all the dialogue.
Do you have did you look, you didn't look at your client testimonial?
No.
Oh, do we have a caller?
Welcome back to the KM Builders Remodeling and Design Show. I'm Keith Maley, and thanks to Russell back there keeping it going. He's doing a great job. He hasn't been on the job that long, but he's already got it down pat, and we appreciate it. And he's got that music going that I like. Hopefully Russell doesn't mind it too much. He's a real cool, hip guy, but he's putting up with it, that old school stuff. And we are glad to be with you this Saturday, and we are live on Facebook and YouTube. Unfortunately, we have a little problems with the Instagram, right, Morgan?
Yep, but we can still take your comments on Facebook and YouTube. So we want to say hi to David Torres. He was watching a little bit earlier and he commented, details really matter. Hope y'all had a good morning.
Yeah, it
Hope
does,
you did
David.
too, David.
You too, David. Thanks for listening and joining us. And we are taking your calls live at 737-1200. You can join us live there. 737-1200 is that local number. Or you can always just get a hold of us at kmbuilders.com, and that will get you set up for an appointment or answering a question. Some people call after the show or leave messages on the emails. Yeah, they leave messages on the emails and to ask us if we work in their locality, so we might as well address that. We do. I'm going into Bastrop in a week from Sunday.
Wow.
To go look at a project, yeah. So, I mean, we want to take care of you, and if we can, if the project is large enough, we can do it out of town. If it's close, well, we can do smaller projects. And we do a lot of helping people out, and even if I can't do the project for you, I'll try to get over and talk to you and give you some advice that will keep you from making a mistake. That's what we do here, and we are talking about our dual master suite. So I want to get into that real quick. But we're going to take one call first. We may have two calls first, so we'll go ahead and start that. It looks like Russell is still on the phone with one person, and it's good that I know that because, okay, Russell, I'm ready for Rose if you're ready.
Yes. I have a question as far as a support beam.
A support what?
A support beam.
Oh.
On a support beam and needed to, we want to redo my kitchen. It's not a very big kitchen dining area. And I have two support beams that are in kind of in the way. And my husband told me, no, you can't really get rid of them because they're support for, so is there a way to get rid of those?
Okay, Rose, are those going up and down, or are you talking about the horizontal ones? The ones that are going up and down are called columns. Columns, yeah. The support posts or columns are, yes, they can be gotten rid of, but we do have to support them somewhere else. And a lot of times people, and don't, your husband's not the only one who thinks that you can't take those out. He probably knows you can take them out, but he's probably thinking it'll be way too hard if you take them out. How are we going to support this? But the answer is, each situation, has to be looked at. But normally, it runs between $2,000 to $5,000 to take out a support column. And then of course I want you to know that when we take it out, you're not going to have any problems with it. It's going to support just as good as that column did, except it will be gone and it'll look a lot better. And so yes, we take them out all the time in projects because it is one of the most popular projects. And I'll tell you this too, Rose, it is one of the best resale items you can do. When you start opening up things like kitchens and getting rid of that, it's going to feel so different. Does that interest you?
Yes, it really does. I want to redo, move my kitchen island away from the wall and get a smaller island with maybe 2 or 3 seats, but that pole is kind of in the way.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. I can't agree with you more. You're on the right track to a beautiful, beautiful remodeling project, and you're thinking, why go part way? Let's just go all the way and do that if it's possible. And the answer is, Rose, it is possible. I'd love to talk to you about your project.
Okay. Then yeah, I'd like to know a little bit more about what I'm looking at.
Okay, why don't you give me a call at the office and we'll get an appointment scheduled. Can I give you that number, or should I give you some way to remember it?
Let me go ahead and get it from you. Go ahead.
Okay, it is 210-680-5626. That's 680-5626.
Got it.
All right, thank you for calling the show, and I look forward to meeting you and your husband.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll see you. Bye. All right, now let's go ahead and take our next caller. Bill has been waiting on, and he's going to ask us something about a custom house. Go ahead, Bill. Go ahead, Bill. Are you there, Bill?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you now. Go ahead.
We are relatively new to the Texas Hill Country. It'll be 2 years in May. And my wife and I, we've been together about 25 years. And although I know couples who have built their own house together and then seemingly got promptly divorced thereafter, we have this dream to build a custom house on some acreage. And I'm wondering if you could ballpark a rule of thumb for the cost per square foot so we could start getting ourselves prepared for the process. And approximately how long does it take once you find the lot?
Those are great questions. And first, let me address the divorce thing. It does happen with when people are not planned out well, because there's too many surprises. And unfortunately, too, Bill, it happens with larger scale remodeling. They really go through a lot of upset. And I know this not from experience, but from hearing people and reading about it in the industry. So fortunately, I don't think any of my clients have ever been divorced. And we would want to make sure to keep that record that way. But as far as what you can be counting on, if you do this right, you plan it out right, it can be a really enjoyable experience, but it does take a lot of professional guidance. And you should be looking at, and from my experience, people are really what they're calling custom is about $185 a square foot and up. And that's on the low end of what we would consider really, really gorgeous homes. Gorgeous homes are going to go over 200 to, homes that are in the really luxury are going to go over 250 a square foot. And, but I think $185 a square foot is what I have seen that seems reasonable for most people to start at. And again, Bill, that is a starting point.
Okay. And then let's say that we find ourselves some acreage out here. We're halfway between Fredericksburg and Kerrville. And let's say we end up with 15 acres or so. Is there a timetable once you got your lot, you pick a builder like your company and you say, okay, let's get this done? How long does it take? Is it a year? Longer?
Yeah, I mean, the timing, I would say you want to leave yourself 6 months to do the planning and getting the utilities in. And then, you know, a home itself can take up to a year. You know, it's sometimes, you know, homes are done in 8 months, but you probably leave your year for that part of it. And, you know, getting the utilities and everything should be at least 6 months. So I would say about 18 months total by the time you start your planning with your contractor, your designs, and then by the time your home is finished, you should leave about an 18-month window for all of that from start to finish.
Okay, very, very helpful. We're on the hunt for a lot, so if anybody hears my voice out there and wants to call us about land they have for sale, appreciate your show. It's been very helpful so far. It's the first time I've heard it. I'm working in a new metal building, putting up shelving. It's an excellent way to learn something while I'm being productive.
Well, you sound like a great multitasker there, Bill. I'm going to go ahead and give you my number and our website, and then what I can do is ask anybody that has a property they'd like to get a hold. They can get a hold of me through the same website, and we'll meet them up with you. And you go ahead and send me an email or leave me a message. But just go to kmbuilders.com and you can leave your information there. And then anybody who has a property for Bill they'd like to sell with some acreage, and he'd be interested. And that's kmbuilders.com, and I'll give you the phone number too, and that's 210-680-5626. That's 680-KMCO if anybody's driving and they want to remember it. 680-KM Company, KMCO. And thanks a lot, Bill, and we'll hopefully get together before long.
I hope so too, and keep playing the older music. I love it.
All right, you're my kind of guy. Thanks a lot. And Russell's back there smiling. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go to our break, and I just wanted to mention beforehand that we've got to talk about our quality friends and attention to detail of a Lexus RX 350, which my wife now has, and a proud owner of an F-Sport RX 350, and what service you get for no extra price at North Park Lexus at Dominion. My friend Al Cavazos, he truly is one of the most kindest men you'll ever see and meet, and you're special when you meet him and all of his staff too, like Frank Pace and Kim. Well, y'all will be right back after these break at the KM Builders Remodeling and Design Show.
Let's be honest, a jewelry store is not.
Lots of people today.
Mm-hmm.
There's 4 callers.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to talk about sweets much. We'll have to do it again next week.
Yeah. If you end
We'll
up
gather all that information.
one of the things that I was gonna, if you mention it, that was one of the most popular projects that we were talking to,
Mm-hmm.
or that
At the
I was
shows?
hearing people saying at the shows that was what they wanted.
Yeah, go ahead and say that. So no, I'll go with this. Yeah, look at this. This thing comes across that. Something blows across real hard there.
I
They
think
show.
that's in Hawaii.
No, I don't know. But man, stuff flipping across the road and everything. Because of high winds.
Scary.
I wouldn't want to be one of those guys.
The heavy
Look
duty
at this, look at this, look at
rescuers.
this, look at that.
Well, your hand blocked it,
Boom!
dude.
Look at that.
Whoa, he saved it.
He did save it.
Wow.
He went right through the fence and everything.
Saved his truck.
Look at this guy.
Ay, ay, ay.
Probably was wind that drove him off the
Yeah.
road too, right?
Well, you could see the wind.
It's probably a highway patrol or a forest rescue guy.
That's what his hat looks like.
It's Smokey the Bear.
Mm-hmm.
There it goes.
Whoa. Scary.
Look at the arms man, that guy's built. Let's see what happens here.
They ate at bushes.
Hmm?
Ate at bushes.
Mm-hmm. Some of them palm leaves with those could hurt your car.
Really looks like Hawaii, I think.
I wouldn't know.
There's volcanoes, no billboards high. Keep away from radio's.
When high winds, you bet. It's a good rule. Man, he saved it.
Man, that's crazy how he did that.
Uh-huh.
Ay, ay, ay.
You caught in that, huh? So you think you'd survive? Which city with at least 100,000 residents has the highest average wind speeds in the United States? Wichita, Kansas, Amarillo, Texas.
Chicago? No, that's not
it's gotta
it.
be Amarillo.
I think Kansas.
Mm-hmm. Finally. Welcome back to the KM Builders Remodeling Design Show with Russell behind there playing the tunes. So I hate to talk over that good music though. That's the bad thing about picking good songs. And we are talking about anything you wanted to talk about. We've been taking your calls live at 737-1200. And we are live on Facebook and YouTube,
Yes.
but not Instagram today, unfortunately.
No.
And so we were talking about dual suites, and Morgan, you noticed that people were interested in that at the Home and Garden Show, right?
Yeah, we were at the Alamo Dome at the Home and Garden Show last weekend, and I was hearing from everybody that was something that was really, a lot of people, that was what they wanted to do. They wanted to add on or turn one of their extra bedrooms into a dual master suite. San Antonio has such a large community of people coming in from other countries, and they have a lot of people
Multi-generational.
staying with them, so they need that.
Yeah, and so that's good news. If you're thinking about doing it, then you'll get a good resale. It's one of the most popular projects. In fact, came visit a couple of people this week who were interested in adding a suite, adding a bathroom downstairs, or making a guest bath, a powder bath into a full bathroom, and so forth. So if you're thinking about that, it is hugely popular right now. Let's go ahead and take our caller, Jenny, and she's got a question about remodeling. Jenny, if you're there, we're ready.
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome. How can I help?
I have a kitchen that's pretty narrow and it backs right up to the living area. And I know open concept is, popular right now, and I was thinking about taking down some of the cabinets to make it open concept, but you lose so much storage space. So I was wondering if people had any solutions for something like that. Because it's a 80s model home, so I'm sure you're familiar with those narrow kitchens.
Yes, and that's a very common question too, Jenny. That's a very good one. I'm glad you asked it for everybody. I bet there's a lot of people listening that are wondering the same thing. And so the couple of solutions is in most of these homes that were built by builders, you can get taller cabinets, and they go up higher, they get you more storage. And sometimes in the area that we open up and that connects to the kitchen, to the living areas, what we do is we put cabinets in that island back to back. We make bigger countertop, and we put a back-to-back set of cabinets. Now, they may be small on one side and larger on the other, but you're gonna get a lot of storage back. Remember, upper cabinets are not that deep. They're not as deep as the lower cabinets. So if we were in essence to take those cabinets and attach them to the back of your lower cabinets, you'd have a really nice countertop there with double, you get that exact storage back. That's just a couple of examples of how you can get that storage back, and it looks really cool. Of course, we're not gonna really reuse your cabinets there, but but it's gonna be the same effect as if we did.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense, and that would really solve the problem.
Yeah, and then there's other creative solutions too, where when you go with new cabinets, a lot of them are much more efficient in their designs, and just the design itself that we're going to create for you will probably gain at least that much back. And I bet you, after you're all done, you're not only going to have a more beautiful kitchen, but you're going to probably have more storage than you had before. Does that sound interesting?
Yes, that does sound really neat. So, thought I'd ask, it's going to be a couple years down the road before I get something like that done.
Okay, well, when you get ready, yeah, I'm glad you called, and when you get ready, give us a call at 680-KMCO, or just remember, we're KM Builders. If I can help you remember my name, just think of Kick Me Builders.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I can take a kicking every now and then and still keep clicking. So thanks for calling the show, and everybody else can have to wait till next week to call us back because we're almost done. But again, these dual suites really are great. We've converted downstairs where there were no baths and added bathrooms. We've got one right now that we're going to be adding a whole other bathroom and a mother-in-law suite on that. We're looking forward to building that one. But we've got a couple of others where we're modifying bathrooms. We're doing it. We're designing some right now, and I just visited a few also who are wanting to do something similar. So even if you only have a powder bath, like I remember one of the clients that visited, we turned a powder bath into, they visited us at the Home and Garden Show. We turned a powder bath into a full-size bath, so they had another one downstairs. Now, it wasn't a suite because we didn't put the bedroom down there, another bedroom downstairs, but the bathroom was downstairs. It made it easy for anyone who had a need to shower. You have a full bathroom downstairs, and so that was really nice. And I think that project ran like somewhere in the 20s to change that.
The one that we took out from the pantry?
Right, you saw the pictures. Morgan took photos of it, and that's online too. You can check out. And Morgan, I was just thinking, we need to put a section in there called smaller bathrooms.
Okay, that's a good idea.
I've been talking to people, and they said they didn't see them, and they were like, I said, did you see the one on the website? They said, no. In fact, I was concerned that all the projects were so much more than ours. I said, you know what, I'm going to tell Morgan, we need a category for smaller bathrooms and smaller projects, so people don't have to go through all the grandiose ones to see some of the simpler ones, because we do simple projects and we do smaller ones. We don't only do the larger ones, which we're glad to do that, but we're also glad to do the ones for, on practical budgets. So we help you with that as well. I do want to mention my friends over at Legacy Heating and AC Services, because the weather's changing. You're probably already using your heating and your air conditioning sometimes on the same
week.
Sometimes the same day, Morgan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you want to get legacyservicesac.com. The reason I'm recommending it because they are terrific. I mean, really special people. At 830-608-8000. That's over there like a New Braunfels number, 830-608-8000. And legacyservicesac.com. My friend Chad Briggs and his team will absolutely take care of you, and you'll love them. And so we're going to be doing a lot of visits this week. We had a tremendous week at the Home and Garden Show. We'll be talking to so many people that have signed up already from the Home and Garden Show. We had about 60, 80 responses there, and we'll probably get at least 50 appointments set up from that. But anyone who's interested in calling us, we'll get you. We're working it. I'm working overtime to get to everybody to visit you.
Yeah, we were joking. You were adding an extra day in the week, just your day.
Yeah, I needed to add an extra day to my week, and I'm sorry that the rest of y'all will not get it. Once I figure out how to do it, we're not letting anybody else have it because I've got to catch up. And if we did that, if y'all had it, then y'all would catch up with me again. So I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I'm trying to figure out a way to get another day out of the week, and so that I can still keep doing the fun things we're doing, helping folks, and just like this radio show. And I don't know when we're supposed to be off the air, but that music is right now. There we go. Russell did it again. There we go. Well, we appreciate being with y'all. Look us up at kmbuilders.com, and remember, you could have someone else remodel your home, but then you'd have to live in it.